Welcome to Seen This, where today we are having a special bonus episode and we are drafting prison movies. I'm Michael Ornelas. As always, we have Adrian Cedeno and Erica McMullen here on the call to do the draft. We're going to jump right into it. I think we might have some questions around the categories for this draft, but ultimately what we're doing is we have our standard draft with 6 categories, and those categories are drama, jailbreak, comedy is going to be a fun one, science fiction, unconventional symbolic, which we'll double click on, and then of course our wild card. So you guys have any questions? Should we just start off on what symbolic means?
Yeah, let's maybe get some clarification on that one, because I have a few that maybe will be able to be in that category, but if not, I have like a solid backup. Just
Okay.
in case.
So it's solid slash or symbolic slash.
So
Unconventional?
unconventional. Yeah. So that just means like it's there's not necessarily an actual prison. Maybe it's a prison. You're in a fish tank and you can't get out. You're prison of your mind, or different kind of like not actual tangible prison or jail. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm gonna just slash.
And it's not like the whole movie is surrounded around a prison. It just is, if there's a prison scene or there's a jail scene, like it qualifies. Now, how the crowd, our audience responds, how much jail is in a movie you pick, we'll leave it to them.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds good.
We're good.
It's the first time I'm like nervous.
Ooh, she's shaky. I guess this is a good time. Damn, I meant to grab my championship crown, as there's a new draft king after
I still
our last draft.
You waited too long to look at the results.
Oh, girl, I looked at midnight.
You're a liar then. You told me you looked at 10 o'clock.
And
We're
that's
competitive.
That's what the vote was at. The vote was what it was at 10. I love it. We need a mediator to officiate the voting, the tally.
For anybody who doesn't know us personally, who's just like coming in, we are a very competitive bunch.
Yeah.
Like it's more fun to win. I know this is all fun and games, but I like to win.
And to credit to Adrian during our Sing Sing episode, I was gonna gloat a little there, but he said to wait till you're here to defend yourself, and clearly this is the reason why. But without further ado, our prison movie draft, and we have to select what order we're going in, and we have a fun-filled, corny new way to decide the draft order. Let's see.
Thank God you pick a crazy picture of me. Jesus.
Well, I got your feedback about picture selection, even though it draws the crowds. But for this one, I think it's PG. Let's see. Here we go. Now, our wonderful wheel of names.com. So for the first pick, let's get started.
You're freaking
first pick goes to what do you know?
Oh, your computer on your algorithm picks you.
How convenient. How convenient.
Listen, I can do it again. I have no problem. I'll keep myself.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'll cop that. I use that all the time.
I'll clear my cookies after each draft. Next, number 2, we have Adrian gets the second pick. All right, there it is. So that leaves us Erica. You get the third pick.
I just gotta cross my fingers. I just have some that I just hope you guys don't.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be tough, because we were talking a little offline. A lot of these movies can qualify in a lot of different categories here, so I think that's really going to be the strategy. Who takes what when? And I have first pick. I don't know if I wanted first pick, because there's definitely a movie I have to have, but I don't know if taking it first is the way to go.
I think you better take it first,
because I think Adrian might take it, and there's 2 picks he'll have. I don't know, maybe Erica, you will too, but I have to take the number 1 prison movie. In Jailbreak, I'm taking The Shawshank Redemption. I feel like that has to be the first pick if we're talking a prison movie. A Stephen King adaptation, Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman. I remember seeing this movie when I was, a kid. I'm sure you guys too. Yeah, where like a lot of the themes or, the shower scenes or whatever was happening kind of went over my head, and it still holds up as an incredible movie when you watch it now. I think taking the Shawshank Redemption first was my only move. I'm really hoping my other picks hold on there, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Adrian,
All right,
what
all
brings it,
right.
what brings us
So
to you?
I'm gonna have to go symbolic, unconventional right out the gates because I only have one. I was not prepared with that,
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
and I'm gonna go with Holes from
Holes.
from
Solid.
2003, Shia LaBeouf. Um, based
That
off
was
of
on
a
my list. Don't
based off
laugh,
of a
my
book.
that
That's a
was
good
on my list.
movie. Not quite a prison, but a youth detention center where they have to dig holes to learn,
It's a
character.
they're not being paid for their labor.
Yeah. That's a good movie. And that's a classic. So I'm gonna stick with the unconventional there and go
A very solid
Holes.
choice.
Holes. Shyla. Team Shyla. Excellent. Again, I always say this, I feel like, with your guys' picks, but I haven't seen Holes. It's a Disney movie, no? Isn't it like
I think it is
Disney
Disney.
studio? Yeah.
I
Never
think it is
seen
Disney.
Holes?
I'm too old. I don't have kids, and that was just that's
No,
what
that was
2013.
no. Oh my god, no.
No.
2003.
2003,
Okay.
and it's
Fair
based
enough.
off of a book.
I
Okay.
can't believe you've never seen that movie.
Does it hold up? Have you guys seen it recently? Does it
Yeah.
still?
I've shown it to my
It
kids.
holds
They
up. I
still love
quote
it.
that
Yeah.
movie constantly.
Okay.
Haven't you ever heard it's like so I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Well, that's too
Is that what that's from?
bad. That's from that movie.
I see. Okay. Some memeability. Good pick. Good pick.
Great meme ability.
So Adrian takes Holes in his unconventional symbolic. Erica, you got two here. What's your first one?
Okay. Let me think about this. I'm gonna do sci-fi.
Wow, we've all picked a different category to start.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yep.
I'm gonna go with the Green Mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
And
good
I'm gonna
pick.
put it in sci-fi category because there's just so many like magical things that going on where like if you want to take it religiously, if you want to take it the other way, like just like the universe and that kind of things of like karma and like you're meant to meet people and stuff, whichever way you decide, it's definitely a sci-fi film. If you have not seen this prison movie, you're missing out.
Yeah.
It's great performances. My mom can't watch what's his last name?
Michael Clark Duncan.
No.
Oh.
Tom Hanks.
Nope.
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell. I always forget his last name. If you see Sam Rockwell in this film, be prepared to never see him the same way in any film. He's just
Buffalo Bill, right?
he's just this scrawny character, but he does such a great performance. Love that.
He's Wild Bill.
Wild Bill.
Wild Bill,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take that for my sci-fi prison movie.
That's a great pick. Obviously got a lot of critical acclaim, award recognition. Rest in peace, Michael Clark Duncan. He was a phenom coming out of that movie.
Yes.
I think this might be the first like adult themed movie that I cried in. Like I cried at Hook when I was like 10, but that's different. But like Green Mile, like I think even to this day, if I were to be locked in and watch it, like it'll hit me. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
What part hits you when he saves, takes the camera?
Well, Agent just looks for every opportunity to spoil a movie, but this is old. That's fine.
1999.
There's no spoilers at this point.
That's fine. It's past. Stellar movie. Great pick, Erica.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So
No.
Two.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
I get another.
That was a long one.
You picked drama, Michael, and you picked.
I took Jailbreak. I did
Wait,
Shawshank and Jailbreak. Yeah.
Okay, you picked Jailbreak. And then what did you pick, Adrian? You picked
Symbolic, unconventional.
Okay, cool. I don't think anybody's gonna take my symbolic. Unconventional. I'm gonna go with comedy.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go with Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Nice.
Yeah. I think this was like the first. I think this might have been like one of the first movies that I had seen George Clooney in. Typically his movies were just when he was popular, when he was coming out. I was a little bit too young for like the messages and stuff like in his movies. So I hadn't really seen anything, but I was old enough in this to kind of like get the idea and what was going. And I remember just laughing, like just the scenarios that they find themselves in, the way that they get themselves out, and just even them like the first time that they escape is like hilarious to me. So I'm gonna take that movie for the comedy section.
For Coen movies, they're hit or miss for me. Like No Country for Old Men, I loved. Fargo was okay, but I know a lot of people love that. But Oh Brother, Where Art Thou was it's a fun watch. Like you said, it's a good comedy. My boy John Turturro in that one. I love John Turturro, but I digress. 2 picks for Erica there. And Adrian, your second
Ooh.
pick.
Let's see. I think you might go after my comedy, Mikey.
Me? Nah, man.
Possibly. So I should, I got to get this movie. This has got to be the best prison movie of all time. So I got to go right now and get it. And we're gonna go drama. And we're gonna go American History X.
American History X. I love it. You're giving me a heart attack with like the suspense of saying comedy and then so drama, American History X. All right, speak on it.
Man, Edward Norton. He's got to be on the Mount Rushmore for me. He's one of the best, and that was a really great performance. Awesome movie. Even though it's so intense and graphic and deep, it's a movie that you can rewatch, and kind of anytime it's on, you just get stuck watching it. The acting is
I don't know if
amazing in that.
I don't know if nowadays if he's like problematic or not. I don't really like know too much about him, but I think he's like extremely underutilized actor. Like I think his performances are just like really great. Like in whatever role he finds himself in, I find myself like really invested in whatever his characters are.
Yeah, I mean, Edward Norton, just his most recent role, he got nominated for Best Supporting Actor in A Complete Unknown, playing Pete Seeger, and he's incredible in it. Like, if you look back at any like old footage of Pete Seeger, like he nails it, without doing like an impersonation. Again, similar to like our boy Timmy. But yeah, so you took that in which category? Sorry,
Drama.
Okay, so drama, American History X. I feel like that's very much in our wheelhouse as millennials. Like when it came out, we were like too young to should have seen it, but we did. So we're like, whoa, there's like some real heavy stuff going on,
Mm-hmm.
And it's loaded with just big name actors. At the time, what was the kid's name that was in Terminator?
You're talking about Edward Furlong.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was local, so it was based here in LA, in Venice. So yeah, I think all three of us, we kind of grew up in this area. So Venice is, just an hour away. We would go hang out in Venice and just to skate around and check out all the shops.
So yeah, something I've always wanted to do and I never did, and it's so dumb, being in LA so long, is like to go to these places where the films were made and like you've seen it like go viral, or like, people take a picture of like where the scene was at or whatever. Like, it'd be super cool to do that sometime, and that's definitely a place you can go to.
Right in front of Venice High School.
Filmed right there, yeah. Excellent pick. Shout out Stacy Keach, who was the the kingpin of the white supremacists. I give him a shout out because I got introduced to him in Cheech and Chong movies. He's the detective in Up in Smoke. And I remember seeing that and being like, I thought he's a comedic actor. Like, this ain't it. Excellent. All right. So American History X, great pick. That comes to me for my second pick. I'm going to take comedy because this is the movie I didn't think was going to make it.
It wasn't gonna.
I'm curious if it's the one you're thinking of. It should be, because it's the funniest movie that deals. No, I think we have a different one.
Oh, perfect. Bring it.
I am taking Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence.
That's a good one too.
Again, this is one of those movies. Again, so as a kid, watched with my cousins. We would quote this movie all the time. Are you going to eat your cornbread? Like, it is just so funny, but also like very heartfelt, and like definitely is a bit of not a buddy cop movie, but like a buddy movie of these
buddy
two people.
Comedy.
A buddy comedy. Thank you. The way they get in prison, the hijinks they try to go through to get out. Shout out Bernie Mac, rest in peace. Talk about underrated, underutilized. Like, him in life might be the funniest. Jangle, like it's just too
Definitely
good.
taken from us way too soon.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm not sure what it's streaming on. I should check. But the Bernie Mac show,
Ugh,
like, it's a Netflix. It looks like it's on Netflix and Hulu.
it's on a few different. It's on like KCOP channel 13 here local. It's on all the time.
Man,
Yeah.
if you're tired of the sitcoms that are on now and you want to take it back, check out the Bernie Mac show, man. Like, he pulled that straight out of his own like life experiences, made a TV show out of it. It's
Yeah.
funny. It's
Hey,
funny.
have you guys heard? Martin Lawrence was interviewed and they asked him like about filming like sequels. And I guess they're in the works for Blue Streak 2
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah,
and Life. So another sequel to Life.
bro, they're like 120 years old.
That's what they were talking about. Like, okay, at the end they get out and they're at the
At the
baseball.
baseball game.
Yeah, so they're saying like, well, how would
Pick it up right there or something.
if we would try to continue it from there?
That's interesting. I'm curious. I mean, feels like a different movie because they're out of prison, unless they got locked up for something. I don't know. It's Trump's America. Who knows? Anyways, my next pick. All right, we're moving right along. I got my 2 top picks, so I like that. I think I'm gonna have to go sci-fi. I'm gonna have to go sci-fi,
okay.
and I am going. You know what? I don't have drama yet. I take it back. I'm going drama, and I'm gonna lock up one of the greatest movies ever that came out. It did the clean sweep of Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Actress, Best Writing. It won it all. Jonathan Demme's The Silence of the Lambs. Hannibal Lecter locked up. Clarice has to come and talk to him to figure out a serial killer, Buffalo Bill, to come full circle.
There's Buffalo Bill.
It's one of those movies that holds up any kind of crime thriller or detective type movie is trying to be this. It's like Seven after that succeeded, was a huge hit, but Silence of the Lambs I feel has really set the foundation and mold for what like a thriller serial killer type movie can be.
And there was 3 of them, right?
You had
So
Silence of
it's
the Lambs,
Hannibal,
and
then
Red Dragon.
Red Dragon. Yeah.
With our
Yes.
boy Rafe.
With our boy Rave and Red Dragon, yeah. A lot of people hate on the Hannibal movie, the second one. I don't mind it. It's pretty good. It's got some interesting ideas. I'm a little off track, but in the second one, Gary Oldman plays like the mutilated guy in the wheelchair. And I didn't discover that was Gary Oldman until like, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago. Like,
He
wow.
he does not cease to surprise me of like how many films he's actually been in.
Yeah.
Like even as like a secondary character or like a background or maybe like 5 minutes of the whole movie. Like
Yeah.
he's in a lot.
He's like Matt Damon in that way. Just pop up, find
oh,
him in
yeah.
a movie. So Silence of the Lambs, I'm taking that in drama.
That's solid.
Thank
I
you,
like
thank
that.
you.
I like that pick.
It's probably one of my. I mean, it's easy to say off the top of my head, but I'll give it a buffer and say like top 15 movie of all time. Sounds like I rewatch it, pick up new things, the way the movie's made.
That's one of those movies where if it's like on TV,
Yeah.
I'll stop to watch it.
Yeah,
Like
no matter what part it's
I'll
at.
be like, oh yeah, like fuck yeah, I haven't seen this movie in a while. Let's go.
Hannibal's about to break out and kill these 2 fucking
Oh,
2 security guards for the most notorious serial killer. Yeah, it's a little flaw there.
I was gonna say, I mean, you're always waiting like for him to chop somebody up, and I mean, Hannibal when he cuts the guy's skull open, like feeds in his own brain. Intense.
Well, that's the second one.
Yeah, that's Hannibal. In the
yeah,
first
yeah.
one, he talks about eating somebody's liver with a Chianti, and
Yeah, sure.
yeah, you know,
Some fava beans.
yeah,
Fava
yeah.
beans. That's the Chianti. Yeah. Well, excellent. That wraps up my 2 picks there. So we now go to Adrian, who you picked Holes in Unconventional Symbolic, and then you have
I love
American
that.
History X in drama.
That was on my list, Adrian. I had polls because I freaking love that movie.
Okay, so I was trying to be strategic, but Mikey took 2 of mine already. I think I'm gonna have to go comedy. I'm gonna have to go comedy and get it out the way right now, and we're gonna go Half Baked, 1998.
Wow.
Solid.
There's the butternuts.
Butternuts. Nothing better than somebody going to prison for feeding a horse and
Diabetic
it happens
horse.
to be a diabetic horse that dies. No
Yo.
better comedy for a prison movie than that. You can't beat it. You can't
Damn.
beat Half Baked. I can't believe you didn't
That's
go there, Mikey. What do you think?
it's you know what it is? I enjoy Half Baked more, but in my mind, Life is more of a prison movie. You know what I mean? And I know I said it doesn't have to be, but I just had to be a bit more true. But Half Baked is top 3 quotable movie.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? You know, I'm somebody's bitch. We talked about it in the last episode. I mean, hey girl, you hungry? It's just all gold.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Half Baked. Yeah, Dave Chappelle, early Dave Chappelle. I think the only movie I remember before that one with him was Robin Hood Men in Tights, which also has a prison in it. Just saying. Quick scene. Did you say Abe Lincoln? Yeah. You know what we gotta do? We gotta do like a watch along sometime on one of our favorites and see who can quote it the least while watching. I'll probably lose ahead of time. But like Dumb and Dumber, Half Baked, Cable Guy, I can't watch those and not say the
My
lines.
wife gets so annoyed. She's like,
I have a few of those movies.
"Shut up
where-
and let him listen."
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of shutting up, I'll shut up and go over to Erica for her next pick.
Okay, so
You
I
got the
think
Green Mile.
I know I've got a little
You
bit
got
of
My
a
Brother
rant
Warthout.
too. I think the next one, I really don't think you've already picked a Prison Break, Michael,
Mhm.
and I don't think Adrian will pick my Prison Break. But I think I'm gonna do Symbolic first,
Okay,
and I'm gonna go with Shutter Island.
nice. That was on my list.
Yeah, because it's like it's a little bit of both, right? So he's like in a prison in his own mind, essentially. Like so but you never know what's going on. Like, you really never know until like the very end. I actually listened to another podcast where they have something where it's like, is it normal to watch Shutter Island? Yes. Is it normal to have breakfast at 10 o'clock? Yes. Is it normal to watch Shutter Island at 10 o'clock in the morning while eating breakfast? No. If you're going to watch Shutter Island, you definitely have to like dedicate your time in order to, get all of the details and stuff. But I'm going to take that one for my symbolic prison.
That's a great pick. I think Shutter Island kind of gets overlooked a lot, especially being a Scorsese movie. Because Inception had come out, I think, like just that same year or just before it.
They both came out the same year, I believe.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think because Inception was such a hit and it had Leo, and again, I mean, I guess that kind of be it.
Prison,
A
because she was a
prison.
prisoner in her own mind when he's
Right.
Or was she in his mind?
either way. It's a prison.
Inception?
Which one's the dream? But yeah, Shutter Island, a great movie, but I think it often gets like overshadowed by Inception and just the timing of that being released.
Definitely.
Okay, so you have another pick.
Yeah.
This is the most stressed draft you've had. This is great.
No, because not saying that I haven't seen a lot of these movies, but I wouldn't say that this is particularly like my forte. So I want to make sure that I give like a good range of things.
I thought the same thing, but as I started looking into it, I was like, wow, maybe this is my forte.
See,
I've seen quite a few.
I like before you came in, Adrian, I was like, I think Adrian's gonna have a leg up on me because not that I don't watch these movies. It's just not typically like my go-to to watch. And your guys' lists are decent so far, gotta hype myself up a little bit. I'm gonna take a wild card.
Wild card.
And I'm gonna go Law Abiding Citizen.
Ooh, that was a good one on mine too.
Yeah. Oh my god, it just like slipped my mind. What's his name?
Jamie Foxx?
No.
Sorry, Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler. I wanted to call him
This is Sparta.
Gerard. I wanted to call him Gerald, sorry. Gerard
Gerald.
Butler. It's such like a crazy mind fuck, really, because you don't know how all of these things are being accomplished until they finally find the warehouse. Spoilers if you haven't seen the movie. They finally find the warehouse. They do all of that. And it's essentially, he's still technically in prison. So it's really cool to see the perspective of all of these things that are happening, but he's still managing to make himself look as if he's in prison the entire time. Like, I love that about the movie.
Good pick. I mean, Gerard Butler, Jamie Foxx, Anthony, not a fan of Jamie Foxx. I don't know if you caught that, Erica, but he came in dunking on Jamie Foxx and Timmy Chalamet.
My son subbed in for you, and
Yeah.
he was not a fan of Jamie Foxx apparently.
Just
You
out of
know,
nowhere,
I
catching
think
strays.
he's like specific for us. He's another like millennial thing that we kind of like enjoy because of all of the different things that he's done and all of the different things that he's gone through. I think like it's just probably just past your son to like somebody like him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I mean, your son, Anthony, was born in 2007. Like, if you look at 2007 beyond with Jamie Foxx, it's not as good as before, you know? So
Yeah.
that's fair. Anyways, I digress. Cool cast in Law Abiding Citizen. Regina Hall is also in it. Michael Kelly, House of Card fame and other movies. Viola Davis. I mean, yeah, great cast. Good pick.
Great cast.
Okay, so Law Abiding Citizen and Wildcard with your fourth pick. That brings us back to Adrian. You've taken symbolic, drama, and comedy so far.
Okay, so I'm having a hard time because I want to pick more than one movie for each category. And I have a hard time like differentiating like, okay, you guys, I think I'm going to have to go.
It's like we said, there's so many movies that fit in like all of the categories, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go sci-fi because I only have one left.
Okay.
And we'll go platform. It was from 2019.
Yeah.
It's about like an experimental prison where the food is all served in the middle of the platform and it just lowers floor by floor. Each floor has 2 prisoners. So by the time it gets to the bottom, you know, there might not be any food left. It was an interesting movie, to say the least. Very intense, and I think it was a foreign flick.
Yeah, that was directly to Netflix, right? If I recall.
Yeah.
I think there's a sequel even. Didn't they have a second one?
Yeah, it just came out recently. It just came out recently. So my kids just started watching, like, hey, Dad, is it a good movie? I said, it's one of the best. You better watch it.
Like
They're
that.
I need to check it out before the second one. I was like, yeah, you guys should check
Is
it
it
out.
because of like the messaging behind it, like the theme behind it? Is
Absolutely.
Why it really, yeah.
And it just was so different. And such a different concept. And then to be honest, the spoiler, you know, that at the end where, you know, the baby growing up there, like, man, it was a really good story. I really liked it. It really spoke to me as far as food, I guess. Like,
sure. Who knows?
Don't take away my food. Don't take away my food.
Got to get your value meal. All right. So platform and sci-fi. So we're back at me. I've got the stellar team so far of Shawshank Redemption, Life, Silence of the Lambs.
I like how you keep trying to plug that in there. You're
No.
trying to influence our
you?
listeners.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was a campaign. I thought, you know, got to sell our teams here.
All of a sudden, you're a campaign manager.
You know, listen, we're out here to win. I won one. Got to keep the streak going. Right now, the streak is at 2 with Erica. Set a high bar we got to beat here. Okay, so I think I need to do it because it's the best movie on here. I already have No, I don't have sci-fi. Okay, cool. No, yeah, I have drama, comedy, and Jailbreak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'll go with my sci-fi now.
Right.
Dude, I'm so stacked. It's great. And I am taking the phenom of a film. Came at the turn of the millennium. Forever changed the way.
Pick a movie.
Forever changed the way people saw life, philosophies on life. And I'm taking The Matrix. The Matrix has everyone in a prison getting their battery drained. Oh, Erica, you want to push back? Will you protest?
I'm not protesting, but like that's not the turn of the century prison movie. It's a great movie. It is a turn of the century. It was so unique, but I don't.
Listen, it is a hell of a movie. Period.
Sure.
And I think, you know, if The Matrix qualifies, it has to be taken. I mean, it's just so influential on how films were made after that, the way people talk about The Matrix. I mean, it's part of our vocabulary now that The Matrix, we all understand what we're referring to, even when we're not talking about the movie. So Keanu Reeves is America's sweetheart as far as fan base, and I think The Matrix really launched him to that next level.
We can't call him America's sweetheart. We have to call him America's vampire.
But he wasn't a vampire. It's funny enough, in what is it? Is it in Bram Stoker's Dracula, right? He's in that, and he's like the only one that's not a vampire.
I
in that
know,
movie.
but
They just
the
say because
man,
he's ageless.
Yeah, right.
him and Paul Rudd,
So I have another pick. Isn't that glorious?
pretty good pick. I don't think it's as grand as you're making it, but it's a good pick.
That's fair. I see what you're doing.
If
I'm
you can do it, I can do it.
So I have symbolic and wild card left. Wild card I could really use on anything. It's on here, so I have to take it. This might be where you guys say I lose the draft. This one's for the real cinephile heads out there. Milos Forman's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack Nicholson, early Danny DeVito, early Christopher Lloyd. Have either of you guys seen this movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I have not. I know it's one of your favorites. You always talk about it, and I still
you know
have not
what?
seen it.
This is like a movie that, regardless essentially of who you are, highly recommend. Just that's something, in my opinion, like regardless of the race undertones in it, regardless of
Yeah.
the mental health undertones in it, overall a great fucking movie.
I mean, the way it's filmed in with the mountain backdrop, and like when they're out on the basketball court, and the whole like Native Chief who, I see. It's an old movie, but I don't want to spoil it for Adrian and for those that haven't seen it.
All
I know,
good.
I know, but
right, wear that in high school.
yeah, I know, it's before our time, but won tons of Academy Awards. Milos Forman, check out his work. He's an incredible director, and I think One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is super influential. I actually started to show that movie to Anthony, your son, Adrian. But then it gets to, Erica, you might know what I'm referencing here. It gets to a darker part towards the end with one of the patients, what happens. And I was like, I could hear Rosalind, your wife, just like, why are you showing him this? You know what I mean? So like, hey man, you know what? Now that I think about it, maybe in a couple of years we'll revisit. But yeah, that's my pick. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in
Solid pick.
unconventional.
Solid.
Adrian.
All right, and so what do I have left? Jailbreak, true story, and what?
We didn't have true story as a category.
Gotcha. So it's just Jailbreak and wild card.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
correct.
Okay. So I'm gonna go Jailbreak. I have two here that I wanna put up as Jailbreak, and I feel like they're. Yeah. I gotta use my wild card on that true that I was talking about. So I'm torn, and I'm gonna just give it up to you guys, and you guys can help me out. The one's in '96 and one's from '97. They're both gonna be Jailbreak. Mikey, I don't know if they're gonna be up your alley, but one's gonna be Con Air, and then the other one is The Rock. So Nicolas Cage in both of them. I to be honest, like these are just two movies that I watch all the time. When they're on TV, I feel like TNT plays them.
Con Air.
PBS, Con Air.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like that fits Jailbreak better than The Rock.
Even though-
but
even
Sean
though-
Connery.
Even though in Con Air they're not actually in prison, and there is no prison, they're just on a plane. But I'll allow it.
No,
There's still some.
they're being escorted from the prison.
We see the prison. We see them leave the prison.
I mean, they're on a prison bus.
They're being. I'll take it. I'll allow Con Air for sure.
And it's a jailbreak. They're trying to
because they're
break out of
technically
prison.
trying to escape.
I'm just stirring the pot here. I'm just
Yeah, I
asking
know.
questions.
We
I'm just asking
know you are,
questions.
Michael.
Okay,
We'll
so
go-
Con Air.
We'll go Con Air because, like I said, Nicolas Cage, you can't go wrong. He's in a billion movies,
Ugh.
and that was one of the nostalgic ones from the 90s that you just get stuck watching. It's always
I
on
mean,
TBS,
Have
TNT.
you ever watched Community, the show?
Mm-hmm.
There's
No.
an episode where they're in a class where it's Nicolas Cage, good or bad. And like there's movies where he's like super good in, and there's movies
Yeah.
where he's super bad in, and he just doesn't fit in a category.
But I
And
mean,
Insane.
he's an attraction in himself, right? I mean, the movie that he came out
He's
with like
Enigma.
a couple years ago or last year with Pedro Pascal, like the unbearable weight of massive talent or what. Like it's literally about being Nick Cage. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Long Legs. Did you guys see
There's a
Long
lot
Legs?
of good. There's a lot of good
Uh,
actors in Con Air.
loved
Oh
Long
yeah,
Legs.
you saw Long Legs, love Long Legs. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. He does quite a performance. Some may say good or bad, but it's
I
memorable.
don't know if it was in our test episode or our first
Maybe.
episode, but I remember talking about how that was one of my top picks for
I
2024
mean,
was
it's just like Con Air. It was a bad acting on his part, but still a good movie, and everybody else's acting was pretty
Mm,
good.
Shout out Hollywood Theater is showing Face Off. I think
nice.
this week, or they just showed it. I think they just showed it this last week. But they always show great movies, and Nick Cage is going to bring in the crowd. Okay, that then brings us to Erica.
I have some decisions to make.
Your last two picks here.
Okay, so my unconventional, I already know what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start off with unconventional.
Okay. Sorry, you have unconventional already with Shutter Island, or was that sci-fi?
No, that's under symbolic.
That's
Well, that's the same
Oh,
thing.
is that the same thing?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'll allow a switch to sci-fi if you want to for the confusion.
No, because my sci-fi's the green marble. That's okay. I can switch stuff around. I still have I have 3 solid movies that I can do. I just don't know which one I want to do yet. So wait, what am I missing then?
You're missing drama, and you are missing
Okay.
Jailbreak. Both Adrian and I have taken Jailbreak already. Yep, and we've both taken drama already. So, you know.
I know.
I mean, I guess it doesn't
which...
matter because these are your last two picks.
Yeah, it's true. I just don't know which one I want to put each one in. But I am gonna do it this way. So this one's drama.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with The Count of Monte Cristo.
Wow.
This is my favorite book of all time. So like any adaptation, I just like love seeing it on screen. If any of you are unfamiliar with the movie, Edmond Dantes is essentially wrongfully accused, sent to prison. He escapes and goes on like this whole journey and meets people, and essentially it's like this huge tale of vengeance. But he is wrongfully imprisoned in like one of the worst jails that they have in their area, and um, it takes a lot for him. He's in there for a very long time before he finally finds a way to get out and figures all of that. But I'm gonna take that one for drama because it's a really, really dramatic the whole book for one. But seeing in the movie adaptations, very dramatic. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of fights, a lot of sword fights, a lot of good stuff. But I'm gonna take that one for drama.
Okay. So we'll put that down. I'm going to assume 2002 because what I'm seeing is there's 2002 and then there's a 2004 and then there's like an older one, which I don't think you're talking about. Is that right?
So hold on.
So the 2002 one has Jesus, what's his name? Jim Caviezel.
Got it.
Guy Pearce also in that movie.
I want that one.
You want? Okay.
Sorry. I
Yeah,
just
so-
was trying to remember who I saw and I was like, I want that one.
Yeah,
I hope the crowd listening, like all our fans, are really listening to the politics going on and really listening. These are the lists you guys want to vote for. These are the lists everybody's been voting for.
Yeah. Essentially, they're both really great adaptations. The original film is obviously the best because they don't really like cut out in details and stuff like that. But a lot more people will be familiar with later.
Right.
So,
Adrian, let's not forget you just asked Erica to pick your pick for you. So
because I had two.
Yeah,
I had two bangers.
That's your pick.
But I settled with one. She was like, "No, you guys, I'm going to take both of them."
Okay. Yeah, sure. Anyways, Erica has one more. Yes.
And so what's the last one that
So the last one now is your Jailbreak.
Okay, my Jailbreak. Okay, so this one was drama. Sorry, I have my little notes that I have to write it down so I know what I'm doing. So Prison Break. This is, and I don't, like I said, this might be something that nobody has watched. This might be something that loses me the whole thing. I don't really care. It's a great movie. It's a classic. In 63, it's probably one of like I don't want to say one of the original jailbreaks, but it's a great jailbreak movie. I'm gonna go with The Great Escape from 19.
Mm,
I don't know if either of you have seen this movie, but it's essentially these soldiers that get captured and they're trying to escape out of Nazi Germany into a neutral zone. And there's a few different parties that they end up breaking up and going their separate ways and figuring out how to get to this one. I believe they're going to Sweden. I'm not 100%
mm.
positive of like where they end up going. Um, but one of like the first like jailbreak movies I think I ever saw, just in general, because I have older parents, so this was a movie that like if it was on Turner Classic Movie, like they were just, yeah, we're gonna watch it, and it's a great movie for those who have not seen it.
Yeah, great pick. TCM always on, so I'm familiar with The Great Escape. That's the one with Steve McQueen, James
Yeah,
Garner,
with
Charles
the Steve
Bronson.
McQueen, yeah, and
Yeah,
he does all of the stunts that he does in the film when he's on the motorcycle. Like
right.
he did all of that. He wanted to really encapsulate what it was like to have to escape from being a POW.
I always encourage people to watch older movies. Respect to you, Eric, on this pick. Available for free on Tubi or Pluto. Go check out The Great
Free,
Escape.
friggin' watch it. Like
Free.
it's such a classic. It's such a good film, and like I said, for me, it was one of the first Prison Break movies that I had ever seen. So I'm gonna take The Great Escape for my prison.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, Adrian, your last pick.
Ooh,
And I believe you have your wild card, so it could be pretty much anything.
yeah. So I put myself in a little predicament because I don't know where I came up with. I thought we were supposed to have one of our categories was like a true story,
And that
like
was, we
biography.
were talking about it, but then I think we switched to sci-fi because
You could still have that for your wild card. You know what I
I
mean?
absolutely could.
Yeah.
But now I put myself in a predicament because I need two movies to go in this one spot.
do you want us to pick for you again, or
No, because I mean they're
They're
good
well.
movies. I'll just honorable mention them at the end.
sure? Yeah,
So I'm gonna go with another comedy. Just stick true to my
love it.
style,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna go The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler
Solid.
from 2005.
Solid.
Yeah,
That was
it's
on
just
one of my comedy lists for
it's just a
sure.
good movie. I still like it. It had Burt Reynolds in it. Paid homage to the classic. Nelly, I think, is in it also. Stone Cold
right.
Steve Austin.
It's
Kevin
so
Nash. It was a bunch of
random
wrestlers. It was a
people.
good movie. It was a good movie. So I stick with that one.
What'd you say, Eric?
I said it's just like the most random group of people that are
Yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what makes it like such a fun movie to watch.
It's like Mars Attacks in that way, just
Yeah.
like everybody is just in it. You ever seen the old one, the 1975 one with
Burt Reynolds. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, smart pick. I think people are probably more familiar with the Adam Sandler rendition. Okay, my last pick. Honestly, there's a lot more movies I'd love to talk about than I thought there would be by the end of this. So good job to us.
We're gonna have to do honorable mention at the end, though.
Yeah. No,
We
there's
do have to
definitely
talk about two other movies.
Well, what do you have left, Michael?
So I
Just
have
wild card.
just wild card. Yeah, so it can be anything.
Well, you pick.
The problem is I picked one old movie already as far as One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The one if I'm playing with my heart, the one I want to pick is also old. Comes out.
Honestly, I played with my heart when I picked The Great Escape. I was just
Yeah,
one of those movies where you really I really wanted it on my list, regardless if people have seen it or not.
You know what? And the whole point of this podcast is to get people to watch movies they haven't seen. And hopefully for our listeners, I can sell this next one that I'm going to make as my pitch. Even older than One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I'm going the 1967 film with the one and only Paul Newman, Cool Hand Luke. I knew about this movie before I'd ever seen it. For whatever reason, my dad would still does nickname me Luke. Couldn't tell you. He just thought Cool Hand Luke was like the coolest guy, and he is in the movie. Yeah. So he's always just called me Luke. I'm like, all right. So in honor of him, I guess I got to take that movie. But it is a great movie. Like you get people. Have you guys seen the Naked Gun movies?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know the chief police officer, like his boss, right? The bigger guy. He's in Cool Hand Luke as a prisoner.
Oh, okay.
They do this thing with eggs, try to see how many eggs Cool Hand Luke can put in his
I think
mouth.
I've seen that movie like one.
Yeah. It's
I
another
heard
one that's on
that-
like the TCM and, makes
Yeah.
the rounds. But definitely like is the Prison Break movie. He tries to escape a couple times, and gets punished, and is really of its time. Like they're digging ditches and there's some things that probably aren't kosher nowadays. But if you're wanting to watch something that has that old feel but still holds up, Cool Hand Luke for my wild card.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies here. I still got that we could do. Let's do some that didn't make the cut. Honorable mention. Adrian, sounds like you have some in mind. What do you think?
I got two bangers. American Me from 1992. That one I had as a true story about the La M, the Mexican mafia in prison. Edward James Olmos. I think he wrote it and directed it and starred in it. If I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken. I heard
Look
he
at-
had.
oh.
I've heard a few interviews where they've talked about like the Mexican mafia was actually trying to come after him for how he
yeah.
portrayed stuff. Yeah.
He directed it, but he didn't write it. Writers were Floyd Murdoch and Desmond Nakano.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay,
And
yeah,
then go along with that, 1993, the next year, Blood In, Blood Out.
yeah, sure. I think Blood In, Blood Out would have got some votes. That's like
Oh, Vatos Locos forever.
that's for El Gente,
Yeah.
That would have got some picks. Any other ones or just those two?
Get Hard. We spoke about that at the other day. Get Hard
Anthony's
is a good
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good
Okay.
comedy with Will Ferrell, more recent.
I just can't stand Kevin Hart. He bothers me.
Yeah, I hear you. Early stand-up Kevin Hart or like 40-year-old virgin Kevin Hart, cool. But then,
He got too full of himself.
yeah.
Ooh, another good
Um,
one, Gridiron Gang with The Rock. That was like the
Mm.
beginning of The Rock, right?
Another man I cannot
I was
stand.
just gonna say, speaking of someone else that got too big. Erica, let's hear yours. You have some honorable mentions?
Yeah, I had for one of mine, I wanted to do this one I really loved Shutter Island, and I'm glad that I picked it for the symbolic one. But I
Yeah.
also had on there Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
Oh, sure. Wow. Yeah.
Another movie if you have not seen. Just make sure you're emotionally prepared.
It's a heavy
for
one.
it. It's a very heavy movie. It was the first time that I had seen an actor from Harry Potter be like evil in like another setting. But that one, such a
That's
great.
about the during the Holocaust, right?
Yeah, it's during
Yeah.
the Holocaust, and essentially they have all of these Jewish people who are in a concentration camp, and what ends up no spoilers, but like the boy in the striped pajamas is a kid who's in the internment camp, and it's his story, befriending the German commander, his child. So it's their story together. But great movie. Like I said, make sure you're prepared
Yeah.
for that movie. Bawled my eyes out like every time I see it.
Have you
but-
have you happened to have seen the Zone of Interest?
Yes.
You just see that? Okay, yeah. So just the way you're describing it, without like
Mhm.
specifically kids interacting, but a similar kind of.
Very, very similar
Setup.
stories.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
similar setup.
Check that one out, Adrian, if
Uh,
you haven't. Zone of Interest, super good,
Oh.
super good.
No, yeah, so good. And then for my unconventional,
Must be a good one.
I put down Madagascar because they're escaping the zoo, and that's a prison for animals.
Respect. I would have allowed
Yeah,
it.
I would have allowed that too. Chris Rock.
But I didn't realize that I had already taken an unconventional in another rounds. I was just like,
Mm.
I'll let it go. But I had Madagascar on my list.
I feel like your crowd would have liked that one to
Ate
vote
that
for.
shit up.
Yeah, I have some. I have like a real cheap one. Like I could have said Star Wars: A New Hope because they break Princess Leia out of the prison, right? But
I'm taking that.
yeah, but there's more. Everyone's seen Star Wars, you know what I mean? If so,
Yeah.
Matt.
I've been like, you're winning fucking vote, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I
That would have been
know.
better than Matrix.
I know, but it's all
Better
right.
than the Matrix.
Listen, I'll take it. It's my honorable mention, so I'll take credit for that. Man in the Iron Mask,
I thought of that one
Leo,
too.
Okay,
Leonardo.
yeah.
a Leo movie. You meant, I think Adrian, you were talking about a movie and it made me think. Like I didn't have it on my list until you were talking. I was like, oh, you know what? Man in the Iron Mask. Like it's on TV a lot, but I don't think a lot of people talk of it in like high esteem. But Leo playing twins, one's the king and the other's been hidden away in shackles, and the Musketeers are trying to revolt. Essentially, that's one that like if it's on TV, I'll probably watch. Just like it's a vibe. I don't know. It's weird.
I feel like any of those like musketeer type movies, like you kind of get stuck watching. Like there's been a couple where like they're super martial artists and like flying on tight ropes and stuff that were really good. But I feel like all of the Three Musketeer type movies are pretty good.
I mean, that's kind of like the Ninja Turtles, right? There's just
Right.
four of them.
It is, yeah.
Same idea. A movie I watched last night with our buddy Manny. He wanted to treat me to dinner and a movie for my birthday, but the catch is to go to his house to watch a movie. So like, all right. And if you guys know, I know Erica, you don't necessarily know him yet, and our listeners don't. Manny, he's a huge, fan of film, but they need to be a certain level of cerebral interaction and engagement.
Like a stimulant.
It's got to be like deep.
He doesn't appreciate my kind of comedy movies.
Right. To say the least. I convinced them to watch The Cell with J-Lo. You guys remember that?
That's a good honorable mention one too. The Cell.
Yeah, so I watched it. It still holds up visually, like the ideas of what they're doing. By the time they land the plane, it's a little like, okay, well, but like I'd love to see someone take a swing at that movie. Like all these remakes that are being done, The Cell doesn't get talked about. Like I was saying, Silence of the Lambs was
There's like certain movies where like they didn't really hit when they were released.
Yeah.
But if they were to be like vetted with some of the actors we have nowadays, I think that some of it could really gain traction and
100%. Like I was telling Manny, like Silence of the Lambs is that movie for the 80s. Seven is that movie for the 90s. The Cell came out in 2000, and I think it's doing similar beats of those movies, but it
wanted to do with those movies.
And it came out just after The Matrix, and there's some things happening that are in conversation with that too. So yeah, a long-winded way to say The Cell.
I think of The Cell, and I think of I'm in your head like Jenny Lopez, I think it's a rap lyric of I can't think of the song.
J-Lo has been in our life a long time. You know what I mean? You think about how long she's been either a singer, a dancer when she first started. Oh, you're over. Oh, anti J-Lo over here. Okay. Taking her down like Diddy. Okay.
Yep.
And then there's like the Truman Show, right?
So I wanted to kind of maybe. Yeah, I was thinking about picking that. That's like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
That's another movie. Like I think we've mentioned it before, where you can put that movie on, and I will stop what I'm doing and sit down.
I mean, it's another, like The Matrix, it touches on philosophy of like, what if this is reality, that you're just on a TV show? And Lord knows there's moments I felt like that. I was like, this can't be like, what is happening?
Like who's controlling my voodoo doll right now? Like,
yeah.
I'm not hungry yet.
Who's in the director's seat? And for Adrian, I thought maybe you were going to take The Replacements because they're in jail there for a bit,
That would have been good. I like that one.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves. That's like a guilty pleasure of mine. Just I always watch it whenever it's on. Another one on TBS all the time.
What's his name? I want to look up his name now. The
Orlando?
guy that was Orlando Jones.
Yeah, Orlando Jones.
Yeah, looks like I jerked off an elephant. Yeah,
Coach.
Yeah, that's good. But I had some other ones like Room, which came out I think in like 2018 or something with Brie Larson. She's abducted with her kid, or she was pregnant, or no, she was abducted and then gets impregnated. By her like abductor, and like it's about her and her son trying to escape. Pretty heavy. I think she won Best Actress that year when that
she did actually, and it was well deserved.
Yeah.
It was a rough movie, but
here's my take. Her only good movie? No, I don't know. Brie Larson hasn't really done.
I don't know. Honestly, I think a lot of people give her too much flack for Captain Marvel. Like,
sure.
I think in this, I'll digress just a second. I think like for her, like, because the MCU, I mean, you can get up like multiple episodes about the different actors and shit in all of the movies. But I think for her, I think the the thing that sucked about her movie is going into that film with other films that had already happened, you already knew who the enemy was going in. So
Sure.
it didn't really like hold up. Like, I don't know. There wasn't a lot of like suspense for her to
Well,
like
the
work
script,
on.
the script for her, there wasn't much for her to do in the script. You know what I mean? Like,
And that's where I think it lacks. Like, I think that they could have done way more for her. So I don't really like fault her for
yeah,
that.
yeah. But what's another? I can't think of what Fast and the Furious. She was in one of those, right?
I've never seen any of those movies. Vin Diesel again. I don't know what it is with me and bald men like that. Just not a
Well,
fan.
big bald tanned men. You're out.
Yeah, but like Michael, I love you, but
Yeah.
like those, I don't know what's wrong with those people. I hate
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. I think the only other movie, and then we could be done here. That I want to recommend is I apologize if I pronounce it wrong. Pixote, Pixote, is a Brazilian film about Brazilian prison, but it does not hold back. Like the way Adrian, we were talking about Sing Sing, how it doesn't really go into like, the deeper themes of violence or whatever in prison. Oh, this goes. Like you see it to the extreme.
Yeah.
But it's critically acclaimed because of that raw showcase of life in Brazilian prisons. Kind of like City of God. I don't know if you guys seen City of God.
But that's not prison, right? That
It's
was
not
just like
prison. Yeah,
life in
it's
Brazil.
life in Brazil. I
Yeah.
mean, there's gangs and violence and things happening,
Little
but
kids.
but when that came out, that felt really heavy, right?
Yeah,
So this is like next tier in prison. So yeah, if you get a chance, check that out. I think it's on Criterion for those that have that. But that's our draft. Let's do a quick recap and then we'll get out of here. I know we're running a little long. I'll start off since I had first pick. For Jailbreak, I took Shawshank Redemption. For comedy, I took the funniest prison movie there is called Life. For drama, I took The Silence of the Lambs. For sci-fi, I took The Matrix. Unconventional or symbolic, I took One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And then wild card, I have Cool Hand Luke. Adrian, what do you got?
All right. First pick, I went symbolic and unconventional with Holes. Second pick, I hit that drama with American History X. Third, I went with one of the best comedies of all time, Half Baked.
God, if you're listening, help.
Yeah. And then my fourth pick, I went sci-fi with The Platform. And then 5, I went Jailbreak, Con Air. And then my sixth pick was
Con Air.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then my sixth pick was my wild card, Longest Yard, 2005 version.
Excellent.
So that's a winning list right there. I don't know what you guys.
You said that after every draft, and I think
I only said that after the first. And my people don't know how to work a computer.
Well, make a video, bonus episode tutorial, how to vote.
How to vote for Erica.
Yeah.
Look out for these characters.
Yeah. So your team consists of?
My team consists of, for Jailbreak, I went The Count of Monte Cristo. For comedy, I all messed up. For comedy, I went Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? For drama, I gotta remember which one I picked for drama. For drama, I think.
So drama, you took The Count of Monte Cristo.
Okay.
Because of all the drama.
I did that backwards. The Count of Monte Cristo was drama.
Mm-hmm.
The Great Escape was my prison break.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then for sci-fi, I took The Green Mile. A symbolic, I took Shutter Island, solid pick. And then for my wild card.
Folks, let's take note.
Law-abiding citizen. I'm so sorry.
Law-abiding citizen for the wild card. Excellent. Hey, listen, I think we covered just about all the big ones.
We have a solid group of different films.
Some would say Old Boy. That was also there. I don't know if you guys seen Old Boy.
Were you referencing Finding Nemo at the beginning of the episode?
I was.
Love that.
Yeah, I mean, they were trying to break free, right?
They were. Yeah, they were. Nemo.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap it up there. It sounds like Adrian's ready for dinner, or his wife is. So thank you guys for watching. You can catch us on seeingthispod.com. All of our socials are Seeing This Pod, except for Instagram. Seeingthis.pod is where we will have all of our voting for the draft. And I look forward to being a back-to-back winner. Anything else?
Oh, hold on. For people who are watching that episode, in order to vote, you have to go to the comment section. It'll have A, B, and C with each of the lists listed.
This is on Instagram, right?
Instagram.
Yeah.
That's our official voting station. Instagram. We'll do a post after the episode airs, and then we have the weekend to vote. And then midnight at Sunday at midnight, Erica, is when I check the tally and make sure to vote.
I'm going to screenshot that shit at 12.
Until then, we'll see you on Monday where we're talking A Different Man, Sebastian Stan movie. Thank you guys for listening. Stay safe.
See you guys.